We are at 318 St Jude Circle in Florence, doing a pre-purchase inspection on the sanitary sewer line. Going from the clean out in the laundry room. It's a stack in the rear center of the house. We're going to push it all the way out, hopefully all the way to the main, which is actually across the street, so probably over 100 feet. But we're just looking for any structural issues, any root intrusion, anything that may cause backups or future issues with the sewer line. Okay, I'm running some water to see if I can clean off the front of the camera. The line is cast iron. The clean out that somebody put a clean out in, which is PVC, but the rest of it is cast iron, as you can see underneath the concrete floor in the basement. Also, hoping to be able to keep this line, the camera, clear so we can see a little better here. But it looks like the water is flowing pretty well here underneath the house. I'm expecting it to change over to clay once we exit the house, once it gets past the foundation. As you can see, the water going by, looks like it's flowing pretty well. These materials are normal for a house this age. So everything so far looks good. The front of the camera is only half an inch off the bottom of the pipe, so sometimes just a little bit of water gets on the front, but that's not a concern. That's just normal since the camera is so close to the bottom of the pipe. Usually the pipe is 4-inch inside the house, and it'll go to a larger 6-inch, which we're getting ready to make the transition here. Looks like we're changing over to clay. There's a tiny bit of roots there, something that's not uncommon. Especially, like I said, on a house this age. This is where it transitions from the house. You can take care of this with a chemical, but there's nothing there that tells me that this is going to be going to cause a backup anytime soon. This is a very small amount. Hoping I can get a better look at that. There's haze over the front of the camera from pushing it through the gunk there, so A lot of times we'll be able to see a little better when we pull back, but like I said, that was nothing to be concerned about. It would take quite a long time for that to turn into anything that would cause any issues, meaning years. This all looks wide open. This clay here, as you can see, there's just a little tiny bit of water along the flow line at the bottom. There we go. We kind of got a flash there, and like I said, there's just a little bit of water. It doesn't even get over the camera lens. There's a little bit more roots. Again, so tiny. Those are minuscule, but not causing any issues whatsoever. Looks like we have a low spot here. Does not look real drastic. Doesn't look like anything. Just a short spot right there to connection. You can see it's kind of flashing, which means it's very shallow. Like I said, maybe a ½ an inch. And so that much in a 6-inch diameter pipe is nothing to be worried about. It's probably been there since the line was installed. There were no large pieces of debris that were in that, in the line, so that's not causing any kind of backup or stoppage. There's a few spider webs. Now we're getting ready to, it looks like there's been a repair here. This is probably where it goes in, under the street. Switching over to an SDR, a PVC pipe that they use. A lot of times municipalities use this as they're installing stuff, but it just looks like there's been a repair here. I'm trying to figure out. It just looks like buildup in that spot. They use what they call a fernco, which is like a rubber boot when they make these repairs. And sometimes you'll get a little bit of a ledge there, which looks like that's a little bit of grease just build up on that ledge. I can flip this over here and kind of, the camera is upside down, so I flipped the image so you can see that on the left hand side there, just a little bit of buildup. So there was a repair done at some point at approximately 87 feet out, but I believe that's under the street. We'll know shortly about how close we are to the main, but it has been repaired, so whatever it was, they remedied. Now, it's hard for me to tell how deep this is. It is stagnant, but hoping maybe I can see a little better when I pull back, because I can't tell if I just went into the main, which I may have, or if it was a belly. So that's what it is. If you can see, there's a larger pipe that we're moving into. So that is the sanitary main at 107 feet. That's where it ties, the lateral ties in. So the pipe from the house ties into the sewer main out by the street. So that comes in right at the flow line. So it comes in at the flow of the main. So that's why this water is sitting there. It's not able to back up into the house at that level. They would have to climb to get back into the house. It's a normal way that they used to tie sewer mains in. So now the sewer main is across the street, so that repair mark at 87 feet was done in the street. So depending on the area, I'm not sure. Florence has their own sanitary sewer division, so they probably own this section, and that's what they had done this repair. Maybe they were working on something and it got damaged somehow, but the good news is, again, it's been repaired, and I don't see anything restricting flow. I don't see any structural issues. The little tiny bit of roots there at the foundation, which You know, I don't think that's something you'd have to worry about for 10 years, if that. It doesn't look like there's been any issue or doesn't give me an indication that that's going to grow much more than it already has. Flip the image back here. That way you can kind of see the right side up. You know, anytime you want to know which side is the bottom. Oh yeah, see, there you go. We missed that somehow on the push out. There's some roots right here. It is only about, it's all along the top. The flow line is on the bottom of the image here, so there's a little bit of roots. I mean, it's something that you would probably want to maintain some sort of a schedule. Maybe every 5 years or something you could run something down there. If you're real worried about it, you could run a chemical down there every, once a year or something that bubbles up and burns back those roots. But it's not anything that you would ever dig up to repair for something that small. It doesn't look like, again, that's something that I think you would have a few years before it would be able to grow down into that flow line and start blocking the line. As you can see, the black marks along the edge, that's about the average height of the water in the pipe. We've come back in to the inside of the pipe, to the inside of the house. So we're back in cast iron. And again, all this looks really good, especially for its age. Looks like we've got good pitch, the water's flowing great, no structural issues, just a little tiny bit of roots. Again, not anything to worry about, just pretty common. I think if you went up and down this street and asked people that have lived here, they're gonna say that, or I should say, if you go up and down the street and I ran a camera through all of them, I'll probably find much worse than that on quite a few of these. But we're pulling back out of the clean out here. So we're all pulled out, and we've inspected the whole line. I've mentioned a couple times, the only thing I saw was a little tiny bit of roots, nothing to be concerned about. Like I said, no reason to panic, and the structural side of the pipe is beautiful. Everything looked good. So I'm going to end the inspection here for 318 St Jude Circle in Florence.